Right now, Raphael Esparza, MyBookie.ag. Get in and play on your radio. Esparza, what's going on?
Not much. What's going on with you?
Oh, just trying to make the week. I appreciate you moving around for me.
That's all right. I apologize for missing you last week.
No, that's okay. That's all right. You had stuff going on. Hey, before we get into March Madness, I want to get your take on this Charlie Baker deal with the NCAA trying to ban prop bets in college sports. Where are you at on this?
I understand why, but you're putting toothpaste back into the tube. So I totally understand why. I get college kids. Before you couldn't bet college kids on prop bets many moons ago, and now all of a sudden you can. I understand it. And the same person that does betting for odds for both sides, U.S. and global, that'll make my global business really good. People would still want, because the global books are going to still put it out there. So now people are going to complain about the global books still doing action on it, and the USA books don't on it. So again, you're putting toothpaste back in the tube, but totally understand it.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure. I mean, I know some states have gotten on board, but I don't know that they get this whole thing done, right? I mean, there's some states I'm sure that will kick on this, you would think.
Each state has different rules, so I can see some states saying yes. I'll use Alabama or even Mississippi. I'll say Mississippi might jump on board and say, "Wait, we're not taking that," but Vegas will continue taking that, or another state. So it would not shock me if you see a couple states say yes, we're on board. New Jersey won't. I can guarantee you they won't.
Let's get your take on some of these games tomorrow and Friday. Alabama takes on North Carolina. And by the way, what's up with these late tips? I seen a lot of people griping about that. But we've got some late tip-offs Thursday and Friday.
Ooh, you East Coast people. Take a nap. I'm tired of East Coast people complaining about times and stuff like that. What about the California people or the West Coast people who are working during game time? So I don't want to hear about times and stuff, but I think I said on your show, I have North Carolina cutting down the nets. I have a nice ticket of 17-1 to cut down the nets. I like them against Alabama.
So you've got North Carolina cutting the nets down?
Yes, I do.
Yep, that's who I've got as well. North Carolina cutting them down. So if they take care of Alabama, they'll move on. How real is – well, who is realer? In the Vegas lines you guys put out, I'm looking at Penn Gaming right here, would say that they're pretty close. Illinois takes on Iowa State Thursday, 9:09 tip. The Iowa State Cyclones are 1.5-point favorite in this ballgame, total 146. Who do you like?
Iowa State must be the quietest number 2 team I've ever seen in the NCAA tournament. I don't understand why they get no love. I like Iowa State in this one. I think they can really make some noise and shock a couple teams. I think they beat Illinois.
NC State on Friday takes on Marquette. That's a Friday tip at 6:09 p.m. Marquette, 6.5-point favorite, 151 the total. NC State on this Cinderella run, they ran through the ACC tournament, first and second round. Does it end Friday, or do they advance?
It ends Friday. I think the slipper comes off. And is 6:09 too late for the East Coast people, or are they eating with the family? So give me Marquette. I think the slipper comes off.
What about back to Thursday? Clemson takes on Arizona, the other underdog in the ACC. Arizona, 7.5-point favorite, total 152. Who you got?
I like Clemson plus the points on this one, but I think Arizona sneaks out a victory.
UConn, 11.5 points over San Diego State. Are they that much better than San Diego State this year?
No. Everyone's thinking, oh, look how good Connecticut plays so far in the tournament. They beat a Cologne in round 1, Stenson, and they beat up a bad Northwestern team who had 2 of their star guys injured coming in this tournament. I think UConn sneaks by, but give me the plus points. I'm hoping this one goes up to 12, which might. I like San Diego State on this plus the points.
Raphael Esparza of MyBookie.ag on a Wednesday. Get in and play. Talking NCAA tournament. Back at it tomorrow. Friday night, Creighton takes on Tennessee. Blue Jays, 2.5-point dogs to the Tennessee Volunteers. Totals at 144, and it should be a good one.
Baseball starts tomorrow. That's why I'm going for the Blue Jays in this game. I like Creighton over Tennessee. I think the 3 ball is going to be hitting. Would not be shocked if it's a little bit up-tempo game. I like Creighton to upset Tennessee. Duke
and Houston. Talk with David Glenn out of the great state of North Carolina last hour. David Glenn show's been on in that part of the world for several decades. He likes Duke. Now, he's an ACC guy. He likes Duke versus Houston. Who do you like?
My twin brother's a big Dookie fan, so it's really going to be hard for me to cheer for Duke. I think this one's a close one. I think Duke can sneak by this one. If this is a high offensive game like Texas A&M played, then I think Duke advances. If it's a low-scoring game, Houston wins. I'm going to say Duke advances.
And Gonzaga, 9 straight years in the Sweet 16. They're a 5.5-point dog to Purdue. Total 154. Does it end Friday for Gonzaga, or do they advance it to Sunday?
I didn't think Purdue would play this well in the first 2 games. Edey just looks unstoppable. If the big man from Gonzaga can stretch the court out and hit some threes, then I think Gonzaga upsets Purdue. But if Edey's just too powerful, then I think Purdue wins. I'm going to say Gonzaga covers, but Purdue advances.